Alright guys, welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a little bit of a different flight here. It's going to be a very short flight, but we're going to have some scenery to look at and an interesting landing. We're going to be flying the Zibo 737-800 here, decked out in our Poseidon livery. We're sitting at the northernmost spot at Edwards Air Force Base. We're going to fire up the plane, taxi all the way over to the other side of Edwards Air Force Base. We're going to have some planes to look at and scenery to look at Edwards as we're taxiing. Then we're going to take off and do a quick hop over to Fort Irwin Bicycle Lake. Now, Fort Irwin is one of the largest sort of joint military bases. I think technically it's a Marine base, but everybody goes there. Huge training area. That's where they do all of their, real world kind of, well, not real world, but they do their training out in a desert, hardcore kind of thing. They have a whole sort of town set up. They go and attack them and everything like that, with their tanks and all this other stuff. And there's a dirt airstrip. It's called Bicycle Lake, and I've spent some time there. So I've actually flown into Bicycle Lake in C-130, landed at the dirt airstrip there, and spent a little bit of time there at Fort Irwin. So I thought it'd be fun to just take the Zibo over there and see if we can't blow some tires on landing on the dirt strip there. So let's jump into the airplane here. We'll get fired up and get ourselves underway here. We'll get everything set up here. We're not going to be doing any of the FMC. There's no flight plan. It's just a very short hop over to Bicycle Lake. It should just be about 15 minutes or so. So let's get fired up here and get our IRSs aligned, and we'll get our APU started up here. Alright, we'll put our beacon on, nav lights on. We can put our packs on here. Put our chimes, smoking, seatbelt signs on, and let's see what else we got to do. All right, we got to come down here. I always like to have my lights on. They are good. Let's just clear this out of here. We'll just enter our position, grab that over here so that we can get our flight instruments operational, and that's as far as we're going in the FMC right here. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. Set my trim right there. Let me go over here, turn these panel lights up, and we're going to go ahead, turn our transponder on. There might be some weather out that way, but we'll see. All right, while the IRSs are aligning and the APU is firing up, we're not even going to climb that high. Let's just say we're going to go to 7,000 feet. All right, 2250, that's about our altitude there at Bicycle Lake. All right, APU power is available. Let's go ahead and switch over to APU. Get all our switches set over here. Fuel pumps on. We'll go to APU power on that. Everything else there is good. There's good. Let's go ahead and just set our window heat. Put our pitot heat on. Electrical hydraulics on. Trim air on. All right, and everything else right here is set. We get our APU bleed engaged, and we're pretty much ready to go. So let's just get started up right here. We'll turn our packs off, go over to ground on number 2. So I got 7,000 set here. We'll swing that over all the way. We're going to go up to 250 on the speed just for holding. There we go. And we'll put our flight directors on. All right, introduce fuel on number 2. Get our yokes back on. Just waiting for that to switch over. There we go. Let's start up number 1. Alright, just waiting for our N2 to spool up to about 20. There we go, introducing fuel. I have a key to do that. Otherwise, you just grab these levers right here and yank them back up. Alright, so we are trimmed up. Engines are firing up. We should be good here in a second. There we go. Let's go over to continuous. Go over to engine power. We can turn our APU bleed off, put our packs back on, and we can turn off our APU. Alright, everything else is set up here, I believe. Yep, that looks good. Alright, we're ready to taxi. Let's go see what we got to see over here. So, parking brake off. Bring the power up. Like I said, we're at the northernmost farthest point we could possibly be for the taxi here. But I wanted to do that specifically just because I wanted to show you how big Edwards Air Force Base is. And we're only going to see half of it. Let's take an outside view here. It might be a little loud, so caution. Bring the power up here a little bit and get us cruising, taxiing a little bit faster here. There's going to be a couple of airplanes that we drive by over here. Get myself back on the center line. And I'm going to be taxiing a little bit faster than you would in real life, but this is more for the fun of it here. Looks like you got a, I don't know, that's a Learjet. Bumpy there on the taxiway, a little up and down. So we got some fighter jets over there. Looks like F4 Phantoms. I think there was another one parked someplace over here. Got a bunch of them parked out there. Oh yeah, we're speeding. Beating the Beamer there. Let's go outside and see what else we got to see here. A lot of Phantoms sitting around. One in a hangar there. And there's one. Stay on the taxiway here. So you can see up ahead of us, that's the south side of the base. We're not going to be even going over there, and there's more stuff to see over there. We're going to do our super fast taxi through the north side of the base here. Got some more little transport planes here. Kind of cut across here. Looks like we got some KC-10 tankers here. Phantoms. Let's jump back in the plane here. We're gonna head right for the runway here, take off, and head for Bicycle Lake. All right, so get ready for takeoff here. We're gonna set our flaps for 5. Auto braking to RTO. I'm going to jump out of the plane just to see which runway we're going to take off from. I guess we'll go all the way to the end, right? We'll go all the way to the second one there. come over here. We will start our leg. Go ahead and put my strobe lights on. We're going to be crossing the runway here.
Approaching 04 left.
Everyone's strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Alright, so trim tab is set, flaps are set, auto braking set. Just get our landing lights on as we turn onto the runway and do an immediate departure.
Approaching 04 right.
Alright, landing lights on. Strobes are already on.
On runway 04 right.
Okay, with the engines spooled up here, we'll bring them up to takeoff power. Now we don't have any V speeds set, so we're just going to kind of eyeball it here. Okay, 130, rotating. Gear up. Flaps up 1 notch.
1,000.
We're going to turn to our heading now. Bicycle Lake is right over here at KBYS, so about a heading of 057 or so. 1 more notch of flaps up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit our VASI. We're going to hit our command. And let's go ahead and change over to our heading. Right about there. We'll hit our heading. We'll also hit our speed hold now. Get the rest of our flaps up. Landing gear to the off position. Get our auto braking off. Goodbye, Edwards Air Force Base. Let's take a look outside here. There, that's really loud. I can turn that down for you. So that's Edwards, or at least the northern half. We were parked out over here, right? Taxied all the way around here, and then down here, and then over to the end of the runway here. We still got to explore that other end right there, but flying out over to Bicycle Lake. This will be real interesting. It'll be hand flying the approach. Alright, as you can see, we're at 40, and then what's that? Maybe another 10 miles. So about 50 miles out right now. Alright, so landing lights can come off. Get all our other lights off if we had them off. We'll leave the strobes on. See what there is to see out here in the desert. The high desert of California. Looks like some sort of mining going on over there. And then just stark desert. Alrighty, let's I guess we got enough time to put some music on, why not? Alright, I'll let you watch the desert go by here. I'm going to go get a drink of water really quick. I'll be right back. And let's see, what do you want to look at? What's cool? Look out this window. It's a little loud. There we go. Alright, I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Let's see where we're at. We're getting close. Just under 40 miles here. Nice old lava flows out here. Little mini volcanoes. Somebody thought they were going to make a subdivision down here at one point. music's a little loud for me. I love the scenery in the southwest here. Although, like I said, I spent some time at Fort Irwin, and it's hot as hell, and it never cools off. Luckily, I spent most of my time at Bicycle Lake, and not actually out in the field, so to speak. You know, every time you watch streamers fly in airliners, you know, you're always, you know, you take off, you get up to like 30 some odd thousand feet, and you get a high up view of the scenery. You never get that low level sort of skimming in a plane like this. I think what we're going to do, coming up to Bicycle Lake, we're actually going to turn left, come around, and land on the dirt runway, and that'll keep us pointing in the right direction to taxi over to the ramp there. Now, X-Plane, I do have failures turned on, so don't be surprised if we blow a tire on landing or something here. You know, this 737 wasn't made to land on dirt strips. I'm sure it could, but at least every time I've flown into Bicycle Lake, I've either blown a tire or lost an engine or something like that. Let's do a flyby. Fantastic scenery, and that's pretty much what it looks like. I know there's a little color difference here between the tiles, but very colorful. You wouldn't think the desert is this colorful, but it actually is. And I can see Bicycle Lake coming up right over there. Let's pop over here. So we're going to come in this way right here. The main base is actually over here, kind of behind this little hill. We're going to come right over the main base, come around, do sort of a right traffic for this runway, and then taxi over and land over there. Alright, so let's kill the music for now. We'll turn up the sim volume here. And we'll get ready for landing. So auto braking we're going to set to 2. Let's go ahead and get ourselves slow down here. 190. There we go. And I'm actually going to take the autopilot myself, or take the controls myself here. Start ourselves a nice slow descent here. We're not that high anyway. Now, if you ever wonder where Fort Irwin is, it's pretty much halfway between Los Angeles, Greater Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. So
2500.
If you've ever driven that route and on the 15, right around Barstow, I think, is where you kind of get off and drive all the way up here to get to Fort Irwin. This is the sort of main base right here. And then everything you see out over the horizon here, that is all the training area. And I'm going to go ahead and get some spoilers in, get ourselves slowed down. Take a good look at the main base here, kind of fly over the top of it a little bit. They're just off to the side. There we go. A lot of base housing all around here on this end, and then staging areas all throughout here. Windy here. I'm not sure what the wind is. Just looking at that wind, it should work out pretty good for us coming in on whatever that runway is. I don't recall the number. And so we're gonna land on this runway, coming down this way, heading in the opposite direction, and taxi over to the ramp right there. Quite bumpy today. Get ourselves slowed up here. Alright, I'm going to drop in 5 degrees of flaps, get some drag out there. I'm going to go ahead and take the throttles too. Go to 10 on the flaps. I'm going to bring our spoilers down. Get our landing lights on. And start making our turn here. Gear down. Go to 40 on the flaps.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Thousand feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Yeah, it's always fun flying into here, especially when you're in the back of a C-130, bouncing around. The last time I flew in here, pretty much everybody I was on the plane with got sick and started barfing. Alright, gears down, flaps down, auto braking set. We're going to set our spoilers, arm them, we're clear to land.
300.
Those winds
Caution,
are gusty.
Taxiway. Caution.
200.
Taxiway.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Caution. On taxiway. On taxiway.
Okay, spoilers.
Caution. On
Up.
taxiway. On taxiway.
That was a rough landing. Reversers are engaged.
80 knots.
Alright, reversers off. Spoilers spoilers down, flaps up. We actually have to keep quite a bit of power to keep moving here on the
Load until the seatbelt sign is turned off.
on the sort of dirt
Please make sure
runway.
you have all your personal belongings.
I am surprised we didn't blow a tire. I really am. Alright, we'll park it over here and then do a replay of that horrendous landing. But hey, that's the way you got to do it over here at Bicycle Lake. Turn that down just a little bit. It's a little loud. That windsock. Yeah, kind of a good crosswind we had. See all the dust that kicks up. Over here and just make a turn off onto the tarmac here, and then we'll do our replay. Alright guys, welcome to Bicycle Lake, Fort Irwin, California. Let's jump outside and do a replay. Right about from there. I think this will be a good view here. Let's see. Find some good music for the replay. There we go, I like that one. Alright, off we go. Hope you enjoyed that flight. Something a little bit different. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And you can enjoy some X-Plane 11 videos. I try to post one at least once a week. And I fly a lot of the airliners here like the Zibo, and occasionally do some oddball flights like this. And if you're about to throw up, that's pretty much par for the course to flying into Bicycle Lake. Hope you enjoyed it. think that crosswind kind of lifted up the wing there. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, take care.